Our planet Earth has some of the most breathtaking landscapes. But unlike tourist-filled cities and towns, there are a few places no human should ever dare to visit. Here are the 15 most dangerous places on Earth. Number 15. Snake Island, Brazil. 93 miles away from Sao Paulo lies a land that is considered to be the most dangerous place on Earth. Ilha de Queimada Grande, or Snake Island, is an island where no human is allowed to step foot on. With highly venomous and deadly golden lancehead snakes slithering around the land, there is no safe quarter on the island. Last known human inhabitants date back to the 1920s. Legend says the last fisherman who strayed too close to the island shore was discovered on his boat days later, lifeless in his own pool of blood. Number 14. Cinnabon Volcano, Indonesia. Mount Cinnabon is arguably one of the most dangerous places on Earth. In 2010, after 400 years in dormancy, Cinnabon Volcano awoke and spewed hot gas, ash, and rocks into the Indonesian land. Thousands were harmed and at least 15 people were killed. Cinnabon Volcano is the only volcano on level 4 alerts and completely off limits to any climbers. In 2019, another eruption caused havoc across the local village. Captured footage shows how ash and smoke shot 23,000 feet into the air and coated the land in debris. Number 13. Bermuda Triangle. One of the world's most famous mysteries is the infamous Bermuda Triangle. The Devil's Triangle is bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, and is the place where ships, planes, and people mysteriously disappear. Giant airplanes and boats have vanished without ever radioing for distress messages. Some theories say that powerful rogue waves that reach up to 100 feet destroy all evidence of a ship or plane, and are the cause of sudden disappearances. No matter what the reasons may be, the Bermuda Triangle is the world's most supernatural and paranormal place. Number 12. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Lake Natron is a notorious place on Earth where all living creatures die from simple contact, and where birds suddenly turn into stones and statues. Not only is the lake extremely alkaline, but this supernatural place in Tanzania can reach dangerously high temperatures as well. And while the glass-looking and reflective lake tricks birds into flying straight into water, it's the climate that turns these creatures into stones. During dry seasons, when the water recedes, the birds desiccate and turn into stone-like statues. The pictures speak for themselves. Number 11. Death Valley, California, U.S. Death Valley is a very apt name for this Californian desert. With the highest temperature ever recorded in history, Death Valley's degrees vary from 134 degrees Fahrenheit at dawn to -10 degrees Fahrenheit at night. At 282 feet below sea level, Death Valley is the lowest point in North America. Without any water, the hottest place on Earth can kill a human within 14 hours. The mysterious desert has rocks that move across the ground and sand that sings. Worth a quick trip and adventure, but make sure to drink your water. Number 10. Danakil Desert, Eritrea. Hell on Earth and the world's most inhospitable place are nicknames rightfully given to the Danakil Desert in Eritrea. If these nicknames weren't enough to paint a picture of how dangerous this place truly is, let's dig a little deeper. The sun favors one place on Earth, and that place sits in Eritrea, Africa. Located in northeast Ethiopia, it's the land the Afar people call home, Danakil Desert. With an average year-round temperature of 95 degrees Fahrenheit, this African desert is one of the hottest scorching places on Earth. But the dry and hot weather aren't the only features of this astounding desert. Across hundreds of miles stands the Danakil Depression, a place where 3 tectonic plates join and create the depression. As small volcanoes dominate the Rift Valley, the floor is mostly made of basaltic lava. Its flaming hot lava can be captured at night when the flaming magma displays a dangerously beautiful scene. Number 9. Valley of Death, Russia. You might think the Valley of Death is an over-exaggeration or a tad bit too dramatic, but once you hear about this supernatural place, you'll see why this name is very fitting and apt. Located in eastern Russia is a place that is called an animal graveyard, with many puzzling head-scratching and backstories and origins. This valley remains to be an unsolved mystery. According to legend, 2 hunters stumbled upon the bizarre land in the 1930s. Upon climbing up the Kipnich volcano, they saw land with no grass or plants, covered with dead animal bodies. The explorers soon started to feel dizzy and decided to flee the area. As rumors of the mysterious land spread, many tried to finally solve the puzzle and come back with proper answers. Just like animals, around 80 human lives were taken by the supernatural valley. Scientists have deduced that the lethality of the land is due to high concentrations of poisonous gases that arise from the volcano. A mix of hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide kill living creatures within minutes, whilst also preserving dead animals' bodies for years. As the deadly gases accumulate throughout the animals' bodies, it prevents the bacteria responsible for decomposition to complete its action. That's why animal bodies were seen scattered around the land. As one might expect, the Valley of Death is closed for visitors. The only way to sneak a peek of the land is through a helicopter tour, which costs a hefty $700. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe to Top 5s with notifications on. Number 8. Madidi National Park, Bolivia. At first glance, this incredible land looks straight out of a fairy tale, but this picturesque park is extremely dangerous in real life. Madidi National Park, located in Bolivia, is the home to the most poisonous and venomous fauna in the world. A simple touch, cut, or a wound can become infected with tropical parasites that cause dizziness and even death. And while this land is undoubtedly very dangerous and hazardous, it doesn't stop tourists and travelers from making a quick trip down to the Madidi National Park. The mesmerizing Bolivian park is home to some of the most majestic creatures known to man. From exotic animals to unique fauna, Madidi Park is filled with surprises and wonders. From jaguars, otters, to crested eagles and hummingbirds, the park has over 1,100 different animal and bird species. But when it comes to the real danger a human can face, one must always remember that this gorgeous and green park houses some of the most toxic and poisonous fauna in the world. Extremely deadly parasites await as a cut or wound is detected on a human. And when the perfect time arises, it hits the immune system and causes sudden death. Madidi National Park, as breathtaking and beautiful as it may be, is known for its venomous spiders, snakes, and poisonous plants. So, if you're thinking about visiting this exotic land, make sure you stay safe and follow the guide rules carefully. Number 7. Bikini Atoll, Marshall Island. What may look like a stunning coral beach is the result of years of high radiation experiments. Bikini Atoll, Marshall Island, located in the boundless Pacific, has gained a reputation for being the go-to nuclear test site. With over 65 experiments and 12 years of hydrogen and atomic bomb testing, this gorgeous island has experienced more than any other land on Earth. While the ocean life may seem unharmed and peaceful, in reality, the beautiful atoll has gone through irreparable damage throughout the decade. Bikini Atoll held the world's first underwater atomic explosion in 1946, and its radiation exposure has only gotten greater. Extremely dangerous radioactive water is the result of decade-long radioactive contamination. The altered ocean was so powerful in charge, it sank 9 ships and caused cancer amongst those who got near to the clear waters. Now, after years of harmful events, Bikini Atoll, Marshall Island is open to tourists. Only a small chunk of the island's area is open to the public. No human is allowed to bathe and visit the polluted beaches. While this island may look like a heavenly vacation spot, don't be fooled. It's much more dangerous than you can possibly imagine. Number 6. Naica Crystal Cave, Mexico. The Naica Crystal Cave in Mexico is so mysterious and unexplored that National Geographic shot an hour-long documentary showcasing the dangers and wonders of the Crystal Cave. 3 scientists geared up for a deep exploration trip as they visited Naica's mountain's infamous cave. Located in the Chihuahuan Desert, this mountain is home to the biggest crystals in the world. As hot magma lurks below the cave, this Mexican destination is a heat stroke accident waiting to happen. The 3 scientists sent for an impossible mission had different goals in mind. Their main objective was to collect the crystal samples and to later observe them. There are these crystals the size of redwood trees. You stand there with your mouth wide open, said Chris McKay, a planetary scientist. Exciting and life-changing as this adventure might have been, one must remember that as soon as a person walks into the cave, their body starts to die. With incredibly high temperatures and unbearable humidity, the only way to approach such a cave was by using protective suits. But even with the appropriate attire, the scientists only have about a half hour to collect their samples and get out alive. George Coraunas, a well-known adventurer and documentary expert, was given the green light to spend only 1 day at the notorious Crystal Cave. It took the explorer 2 years to finally get the permission needed, but according to the daredevil, it was worth the wait. "It looks like Superman's Fortress of Solitude," says George. As far as the hot temperature goes, even George vouched for the cave's unbearable heat, commenting, "As soon as you walk in, you start to die." Number 5. Kawah Ijen Volcano, Indonesia. Seeing the breathtaking and mesmerizing blue lava-like rivers of light might seem like a futuristic movie scene, but in reality, it's extremely poisonous Kawah Ijen Lake. A stunning turquoise lake sits at the peak of Kawah Ijen Volcano, and at night, electric blue flames can be seen rolling down the mountainsides. The absolutely jaw-dropping lake is full of hydrochloric acid, which is more corrosive than battery acid. The hydrogen chloride gas spewing from the volcano collides with sulfur-containing gases and creates a powerful chemical that is unimaginably corrosive. The Greek-Canadian explorer George Kourounis once again had the opportunity to explore one of the world's most dangerous places. The adventurer took a small rubber boat out into the acid lake to measure its acidity.
"It's just a toxic lake of sulfuric acid. What could possibly go wrong?"
The pH of the water was measured to be as low as 0.13. But even though this volcano and lake are clearly dangerous and deadly to humans, miners still risk their lives to collect the accumulated sulfur. George had watched these miners hard at work and recalls how the only protection they had was a wet rag stuffed into their mouth. The sulfur dioxide gas would still leak through and dissolve away their front teeth. Beautiful as it may seem, the Kawah Ijen volcano and lake is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Number 4. Mount Washington, New Hampshire, United States. It's a widely known fact that Mount Everest is not only the tallest mountain in the world, but is also the most dangerous mountain on Earth. And while no other great summit can come close to the incredible height and perplexity of Mount Everest, there's one other mountain in the world that holds a substantial title. Known as the most dangerous small mountain in the world, Mount Washington in New Hampshire is any hiker's worst nightmare. But what exactly makes this peak so hazardous? It's clearly not the height, but the wind. In April 1934, the highest ever wind velocity of 231 miles per hour was recorded on Mount Washington. Even at wind speeds of 60 miles per hour, hiking becomes nearly impossible. Powerful blowing winds and cold weather combine to intensify hypothermia. Freezing temperatures that drop to -40 Fahrenheit and continuous heavy snowfalls make Mount Washington a truly dangerous place to visit. Daredevil hikers who see this mountain as a beatable obstacle do heavy research before starting their unforgettable journey. Meticulous calculations have to be made in order to begin the adventure with appropriate weather. With over 150 recorded fatalities since 1849, it's paramount to embark on such an adventure extremely prepared and organized. Number 3. Lake Nyos, Cameroon. The silent but deadly Lake Nyos turned out to be much more dangerous than scientists first assumed. Lake Nyos, located in Cameroon, Central Africa, seemed like an innocent, beautiful lake, surrounded by small villages. At first glance, no one could expect this quiet, blue, and picturesque lake to be more than just a pool of water. But the narrative changed on one fateful August night. In 1986, a tall fountain of water started spouting out of Lake Nyos. The fountain soon released a white cloud of gas, which grew bigger by the minute. It reached 300 feet in height and spread over the nearby villages. Residents soon started to lose consciousness and collapse on the ground. The gas turned out to be carbon dioxide. At concentrations greater than 15%, carbon dioxide can be lethal. And on that August night, more than 1,700 villagers died on the spot. CO2 can be kept under lakes and surrounding rocks for decades. When a volcano erupts, it emits dangerously high amounts of carbon dioxide. This compound has the ability to pass through rocks and slowly dissolve in the groundwater. If this event takes place near a lake, carbon dioxide eventually saturates the water, leaving it to be extremely dangerous and hazardous. While most cases of dissolved underwater carbon dioxide overturn, reach the surface, and eventually dissolve in the atmosphere, this didn't happen to Lake Nyos. Poisonous gas remained trapped until something triggered its release, and resulted in over 1,700 deaths. Number 2. Fraser Island, Australia. A fun way to spend a hot summer day is to pack your suitcase and head to the beach. Everyone enjoys a refreshing, entertaining time at the beach, swimming and tanning alongside your friends and family. But one beach that's categorically forbidden is located on Fraser Island. Just off the southeastern coast of Queensland, Australia, stands a beautifully mesmerizing beach. But unlike your local shores, Fraser Island is the #1 most dangerous beach in the world. Every aspect of the beach is unsafe and extremely hazardous, from the ocean water and beach sand to the animals and water species that inhabit this land. No part of Fraser Island is considered to be bearable for humans. Deep inside the ice-cold waters live irukandji jellyfish and bluebottles, tentacled species with powerful stinging abilities. How can sand be dangerous, you may ask? As the sand in the lakes can't be seen, enthusiastic swimmers choose to go headfirst into the water, without any hint of how shallow the water truly is. As far as animal inhabitants go, most have heard of the infamous Australian dog species, the dingoes. And unlike our human companions and loyal dogs, these species aren't as friendly to people as one might assume. They are wild, undomesticated predators that can attack anyone or anything that triggers aggression or irritation. As there are thousands of beaches across the world, there is no logical reason to visit Fraser Island without a death wish. Number 1. Elephant Kingdom, Thailand. The Elephant Kingdom, located in Chonburi, Thailand, is thought to be the world's most terrifying tourist attraction. While cities and towns all over the world offer beautiful scenery and historic castles, this particular tourist attraction offers something completely different. Even though the name Elephant Kingdom might make you think this famous Thailand destination is stretched out land inhabited by elephants, in reality, it's something quite the opposite. Have you ever wanted to climb into a metal cage and feed reptiles? Well, the notorious Elephant Kingdom offers just that. Tourists from all over the world gather in Chonburi in the hopes of feeding live 10-foot-long crocodiles, only separated by a metal cage that is kept afloat with plastic barrels. There is little to no barrier against the deadly reptiles. Tourists on board of the metal cages often don't realize that they themselves could end up being the crocodiles' meals. The small caliber rafts were often broken down and unsafe. The empty plastic barrels that held up the cage would often sink or move, adding suspense to the already tense situation. When a tourist captured the now viral photo of tourists dangling food for the reptiles, social media went berserk. The international outcry forced the Thai government and local police to finally step in and take proper measures. This extremely dangerous and over-the-top park was finally shut down in 2016 on the counts of numerous safety hazards. Subscribe to Top 5s for more and check out some of our other popular videos.
If it weren't for the gravitational force on Earth, we would float instead of walk.
I have what we call the board of mystery.
It's what binds us and mostly everything around us to the Earth.
Off and really hit my face on the other side of the wall.
But in some places on Earth, a strange phenomenon is at work, and the gravitational force becomes zero. From the waterfall that's flow defies logic, to the mystery anomaly in a forest outside of Santa Cruz, California, here are 15 places on Earth where gravity doesn't seem to work. Number 15. Upside Down Waterfall. On the outer cliffs of Oahu, Hawaii, you will find a truly stunning sight, a real tourist attraction, but not for the reason you may think. Upside Down Waterfall! The Waipuhiyah Falls are not falls as their name suggests. In fact, they don't appear to fall anywhere. Instead, their waters spray high into the sky, giving them the nickname of Upside Down Waterfall. They are observed from a distance to ensure the watcher is not completely washed away, and only appear during the rainy season. The reason for this abnormality has more to do with the 100-foot cliff that it sits upon rather than any type of magic. As the water falls to the sea below, strong winds push the water back upwards. It then sprays towards the land above, essentially making the falls appear as if they're traveling backwards instead of forwards. And if this sight alone isn't enough to knock your socks off, the waterfall also shields a hidden cave that sits in the middle of the cliff. It would make the perfect hiding place if you never wanted to be found. If you think you might like to visit this extraordinary landmark, I suggest you plan ahead. The journey starts with a steep, slippery slope and winds through the forests. The track is marked with colored ribbons and chalk to aid in a safe return. But be careful. It is a hazardous trip for child or animal, and make sure to pack your towel. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or Slenderman will come from under your bed while you're sleeping. Now it's time for the star topic. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a levitating rock? Yeah, you saw it here first. The rock in this picture appears to be airborne, and if its size is anything to go by, it can't have just been thrown in the air for the photo. This is one hefty rock. Well, at least it appears to be, we don't really know. Is the photo simply a fine example of trick photography, like those of the Eiffel Tower taken at such a distance it appears to be sitting in the palm of an outstretched hand? Has the photo been altered to make it seem more intriguing than it really is? Or maybe this is one of the places on Earth that are like space, where gravity doesn't exist. What possible explanation could there be for this unusual phenomenon? Do you have any ideas? As always, comment down below with the hashtag star topic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. Let's move on to the next one. Number 14. Santa Cruz's mystery spot. Santa Cruz is well known for its moderate climate, natural environment, coastlines, and redwood forests. However, hidden amongst the land is the mystery spot of Gravity Hill.
I came here when I was a little kid, and then I was so blown away at what was going on.
This spot is said to defy gravity due to its slightly tilted nature. Located within the redwood forests of Santa Cruz, California, this mysterious spot has captured the hearts and minds of tourists the whole world over. It has been open for visitors since 1940. Gravity Hill is a destination like no other.
Went up here's a staircase. Don't jump off. Don't lean too much or you'll fall.
It warps visitors' perception of the height and orientation of many objects in the area. Buildings appear slanted, the water seems to run upwards, balls roll uphill, and people can even lean forward on a 45-degree angle without falling flat on their face. You may be scratching your head as to how all this works. Well, although the mystery behind Gravity Hill has been speculated upon for years, no answer has been found. Some believe a spacecraft was secretly buried beneath the Earth, causing an electronic force to move through the ground. Others believe it is carbon dioxide permeating from the Earth. Who knows? Perhaps you have your own theory. Number 13. Magnetic Hill in Canada. As the terrain rises and falls, an optical illusion is created.
Once you get there, you're going to put the car in neutral, let the brakes go, it's going to roll all the way back up where we are.
An illusion that makes the spectator wonder where they stand and what is going on. This is exactly how you would feel if you visited Magnetic Hill. Located at the northwestern edge of Moncton, Canada, the hill creates quite the surprise for guests with its unusual surroundings. Many people who have traveled along the roads and through the hills have discovered a strange phenomenon.
And then we're supposed to take our foot off the brake at the post.
Now, we all know that when a car is sat at the top of a hill, it naturally runs downwards due to gravity. But at Magnetic Hill, things run a little differently. In fact, it might sound crazy, but cars can actually travel upwards from the bottom of the hill with no acceleration. This strange irregularity is said to occur in just one spot, baffling people for over 80 years. Video proof shows drivers turning their cars off at the bottom of the hill, releasing the brake, and slowly rolling backwards uphill. Can you imagine? This can be explained through the misinterpretation of the hills when we cannot see the horizon line. These hills appear to be an incline, but are actually a part of a larger downhill decline. This is just crazy and must be seen to be believed. Number 12. Mount Aragats, Armenia. If you have plans to travel the world, you may want to make a stop near the border of Turkey and Armenia. Here, you will lay witness to an anti-gravity phenomenon. Cars appear to go uphill by themselves, and streams that should flow downhill don't. It's a crazy sight to see. In fact, you may want to pinch yourself to make sure you aren't dreaming. Mount Aragats is the exact location that you will experience this abnormality. An extinct volcano, Aragats is now the highest mountain in Armenia. The fact that it's an extinct volcano has people suggesting that this is the reason why these bizarre events occur. However, the scientific reason behind this is the fact that the horizon line cannot be seen between the rises and falls of the surrounding landscape, giving the misinterpretation of level ground. To take in the true beauty of this area, there's a hiking trail around the mountain. This trail is said to take up to 8 hours, so it may pay to pack a pair of comfortable shoes. Number 11. Hoover Dam. Surely you've all heard of the Hoover Dam. If you haven't, I don't know where you've been hiding. The Hoover Dam, located in the Black Canyon of the Colorado River in the United States, is noted for being a concrete arch-gravity dam. Like its name suggests, the dam creates a vacuum, with many people traveling to it to try and pour water off the side. What happens to that water, however, is what leaves them in complete amazement. Although it's poured downwards out of their bottles and over the side, it then ends up spraying back up towards them. The cause of this is simple. It all comes down to the shape of the dam and the wind. It is effectively like throwing a ball at a brick wall. The wind hits the side of the dam and needs somewhere to go. The shape of the dam propels the wind upwards, creating an updraft. This ultimately catches the poured out water, pushing it upwards towards the sky. The wind catches the water because it's light, so don't throw anything else over or you might be disappointed. Number 10. The Oregon Vortex. Open to visitors since 1930, the Oregon Vortex is a must-see roadside attraction. Located in Gold Hill, Oregon, USA, this area defies gravity.
Vortex, creating the illusion to the phenomenon.
It also has a bone-chilling backstory. What more could anyone want? Built on what is believed to be ancient Native American forbidden land, this area is prone to paranormal events dating back centuries. The attraction consists of many interesting effects and optical illusions, and is one of the oldest in the area. People are drawn from near and far to see the place where bubble levels, tape measures, yardsticks, uphill ball rolling, and plumb lines are used to demonstrate its anti-gravity properties. The paranormal effect creates a 165-foot magnet radius, which is said to be the cause of the bending light, altering of masses, and gravity defiance. I don't know about you, but the combination of paranormal activity and a lack of gravity sounds like the perfect mix to me. This is a must-see for the adventurer's to-do list. Don't you agree? Number 9. The Mysterious Road in South Korea. The world really is a fascinating place. So fascinating it can often leave you speechless. This mystery in Jeju, South Korea is one that'll have you guessing well after you have visited. An optical illusion in the form of a mysterious road that defies gravity lies on Gravity Hill. The road is on a slight downward incline, but actually looks like it slopes uphill. It really is quite the unusual sight.
So right now the car is in neutral. Look at this.
In fact, it makes you want to blink to check if what you're seeing is real. This is caused by the illusion that the surrounding land and layout is flat. A Gravity Hill area can make it seem like a car that is left out of gear and with no foot on the accelerator can move uphill by itself. This area can also make water appear like it's flowing upwards. People who have experienced the mysterious road can't believe their eyes when their cars look to be traveling uphill by themselves. The mysterious road runs for about 100 meters and has a clearly marked starting and end point. If you're visiting this area, you better like crowds because there are literally thousands of tourists flooding to witness this phenomenon each year. Number 8. Golden Rock, Myanmar. For many centuries, the Golden Rock has been defying the laws of gravity. Located in Mon State, Myanmar, the Kiaik Teo Pagoda, or Golden Rock, is a 611-ton giant. It is huge, measuring 5 meters high and with a circumference of 50 feet.
So there's a section just up here that you can walk onto and stick some gold leaf onto the rock?
It sits within a world-renowned Buddhist pilgrimage site that houses a small pagoda which is built on top of the granite boulder. These attractions each become a thing of beauty when the sun reflects off their surfaces, creating a golden gleam. The boulder is precariously perched up high on the side of Mount Kiaik Teo and is said to be held by just one strand of the Buddha's hair. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen, but it certainly adds to the rock's appeal. At first glance, it looks like the boulder's floating in the air and perhaps even on the verge of rolling down the cliff. The rock hangs off the cliffside by at least half its actual size, sitting above a vertical drop over the deep valley below. Travelers come to see the rock from all over the world. Most believe that a mere glimpse will be blessing enough, and they lay gifts and food as an offering to the gods. This golden beauty is well worth a look, but I would hate to be up close if it were to ever slip. Number 7. Stone of Davosco, Argentina. In a fight between a boulder and gravity, gravity is the clear winner. The Davosco stone, as it was named, sat quite nicely upon the face of a massive rock formation before gravity pushed it over the edge. But before it fell, it spent thousands of years perched up on the hill, defying gravity. Could you imagine being taunted for that many years? Poor gravity. I bet it was pleased when the boulder finally fell. The fallen 300-ton boulder, which split into several pieces on impact, was replaced by a 9-ton plastic replica that is fixed to the rock formation around it. The Stone of Davosco has many legends and stories surrounding it, many believing that when people began to settle in the area, a king's favorite son was responsible. He not only brought them to the area, he also taught them cattle breeding and farming. When he left, he promised the people he would return, leaving the huge stone on the top of the mountain as a reminder. He is also said to have put a spell on it to ensure it didn't fall into the abyss below. Scientists have a more plausible explanation. They believe the stone appeared to defy gravity due to small stones halting its movement and keeping it stable for all those years. Whatever the reason for its gravity-defying properties and its subsequent fall from grace, I'm glad I wasn't there to witness it fall. Could you imagine the noise, not to mention the trembling of the earth below? That would have been some earthquake. Number 6. Rua Doa Mendoim, Peanut Street. Don't leave your car unattended on Peanut Street. It may just get stolen by an invisible force. Yeah, that's right. Peanut Street has an invisible thief. Cars that stop on this anti-gravity street seem to slowly roll uphill, gaining speed as they flee the scene. So you best put your brakes on, or you might fall foul of the law. Many explanations have been tossed around for these strange happenings, from the obvious theft theory to the hill being haunted. There's also a suggestion that there might be a huge deposit of iron beneath the street, which draws vehicles uphill with its magnetic pull.
And the car goes uphill. This car is going uphill.
However, in reality, this is all just an optical illusion, as the street appears to have a steep incline, but there is in fact an unnoticeable dip in the road. Peanut Street is in Brazil, and it's a street that creates a lot of attention. Puzzled drivers and pedestrians often gather to try and figure out the case of this magic and mysterious street. Number 5. Spook Hill. Spook Hill is the name given to a gravity hill located in Lake Wales, Florida. The name alone has me intrigued as to what it's all about. What about you?
Spook Hill.
An optical illusion on this piece of road has cars appearing to roll uphill instead of down, essentially defying gravity. This attraction sits adjacent to Spook Hill Elementary School, which, as its name suggests, acknowledges the mystery within the area. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, this hill has become quite famous. In fact, it's even appeared on the front of Wall Street Journal and CBS Morning News. Now that's famous. People travel from throughout the world to come and feel exactly what it's like to exist in this magical area.
So it really works. It's crazy.
This spurs folklore, curiosity, and storytelling, which makes the area even more popular. Spook Hill is one of the oldest known gravity hills in the country, and the only one known in the state of Florida, giving it its historic reputation. Storytellers say that this unique area was founded by a Native American tribe who were harassed by a giant alligator. They sent their strongest warrior chief to fend off the beast, and the battle ended with the death of the chief, who was buried on the north side of the hill. The eerie nature and strange occurrences surrounding the place have led people to believe it is the chief's spirit haunting them. How spooky. Number 4. Electric Brae. After finding the pretty little village of Du Nord surrounded by ruined castles and heading south for just over a mile, you will come across a road that seems to descend for a quarter mile. It is known locally as Croix Brae and is commonly known across the world as Electric Brae. The term electric dates back to a time when the phenomenon was said to be caused by electric or magnetic attraction within the brae. Located in Ayrshire, Scotland, Croix Brae is an anti-gravity stretch of road that mysteriously appears to draw freewheeling cars uphill. While there's a slight slope upwards, the configuration of the land is where the illusion occurs. When standing on either side of the road, the slope seems to go the other way. This creates the illusion that a stationary car, sitting on the road with its brakes off, is moving slowly uphill.
Rolling backwards uphill. No feet, no engine.
You definitely save petrol living in a place like this. Just turn your car off and let the road lead the way. Number 3. Cosmos Mystery Area. The area known as the Cosmos is like a scene from a sci-fi movie. It is a place where the laws of physics have been disregarded and nature has gone completely berserk. The Cosmos Mystery Area, located in Rapid City, South Dakota, is one of the strangest locations in the entire Black Hills area. It makes people question where they stand and the lack of gravitational force. This topsy-turvy funhouse creates a world where excitement, mystery, and science combine.
I feel like I'm level and the whole building is like this.
Yup.
It contains many different areas that truly mess with one's mind. Through dozens of mystery areas, magnetic hills, and gravity vortexes, this funhouse tests and tricks your brain to question if gravity truly exists. Not knowing what way is up or what way is down, this trickery has been perceived as a paranormal force, but it's actually just your brain making a simple mistake. The cabin is built on a 20-degree tilt, not noticeable until you're standing amongst the chaos wondering what is going on. Number 2. Mystery Spot Ignis, Michigan. In the early 1950s, while some surveyors were exploring Michigan's Upper Peninsula, their equipment suddenly became faulty, giving out incorrect readings. After some analysis, they discovered that the gear would only fail within a specific 300-foot diameter of land. Here, they discovered a mystery spot. In these areas, your brain tries to make sense of the strange way that gravity works, or rather does not work, within this space. Reported to have a physical effect on those who visit, with people feeling lightheaded and queasy, an optical illusion makes people look to be represented in a mysterious way. Objects and people appear to change both size and state. Tourism is high at the St. Ignace Mystery Spot, as many have experienced optical contradictions and physical sensations. The cause of this remains unanswered, but this fact just adds to the allure, with people flocking from right across the globe to check out the phenomena for themselves. Number 1. Hudson Bay area, Canada. Gravity's gone. There are no apples falling from trees, people float through the air, cars have no purpose, and we spend our days uncontrollably bumping into others. This would be a world I'm not quite sure I'd like to live in. In the mid-1960s, Canadian scientists discovered that parts of their country were missing gravity altogether. 2 theories were issued. The first being that there was a high concentration of convection currents within the affected area's continental plates, therefore decreasing gravity. The other theory was that Hudson Bay, Canada, and other surrounding areas are a part of an indentation in the Earth caused by an ice sheet that covered the area over 2.5 million years ago. It is believed that gravity will not fully recover in this area until the indentation slowly fixes itself. This area also plays a large part in history, as it was heavily militarized during the Cold War, in which Soviet bombing raids occurred. Whatever the case, the anti-gravity zone does not require residents to nail their possessions to the ground to stop them from floating away. This anomaly attracts tourists from throughout the world, as it really is a gravity-defying area that has the research of scientists confirming it. Hudson has fascinated supernatural specialists for years, with the distinctive shapes in the ground proposed as extraterrestrial activity. The area is so fascinating that it would be worth a visit. Just be sure to keep both feet on the ground. If there's one thing we can almost always count on, it's gravity. This is what keeps our feet firmly planted on the ground. But imagine if it were to suddenly disappear without a trace. There are places in the world where this has happened, and others where it certainly seems to be the case. But is it just a trick? You might have to visit to find out. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.